And don't feel bad, because guess what? Like, as I mentioned before, companies are going to do what companies do, and therefore you need to do what you need to do for you. Hey guys, it's Tasha B, and I am back with another video. Today marks 12 days since I have been laid off. The company that I was working for did some layoffs, and I was a part of that layoff class. The way I feel right now is looking forward to the future. I'm hopeful. I have been at that company for quite some time. The way the layoff went was pretty typical. So if anyone has seen other layoff videos, they're pretty much all the same. So you just kind of get a notification, a team invite on your calendar. You log on, there's someone from HR there, maybe a skip manager, maybe your own manager that's there, and then they let you know the news. Once your team's meeting is up, you have a small window to kind of communicate with people, wrap up with your emails, wrap up with any work or assignments. I was able to go ahead into Teams, send a quick message to a few people before my account was shut down. Now, the reasoning that I was told was because of restructuring. And I understand that there were a lot of concerns when it came to finances, costs. I don't really know. What I do know is that prior to the layoff, I have been working on a project where AI was recently implemented in the call center. And the project was to identify errors that the AI agent was making, kind of look for things that we could essentially teach the AI to look out for. And so I had already known for a while, since pretty much the beginning of this year, that there were going to be a lot of changes. And then the last 2 to 3 months, there has been some layoffs, people at all sorts of levels. And I'm in the command center and analytics side, the workforce side of things. And so I had already kind of seen it come. My annual review went well. My understanding is that our role within our command center would not be impacted by some of the layoffs. And I've seen in other videos that some managers didn't even know that some of their team members were getting let go. Now, I don't believe that. I do believe that they're aware. And in the event that they're not, it's okay. Like, I'm not upset about it, to be honest. I do feel like everything happens for a reason. I know companies and businesses have to do what they have to do. It may not be cost, but we live in a time where with technology and AI, a lot of companies are reshaping their business to stay ahead of the game. And so if you have a position where you're doing reporting, if you have a position that's repetitive, if you have some sort of a position with data, things that could be replaced, I would take some time, analyze that, and also prepare. Now, obviously, what is for you is for you. I do believe, like I said, everything happens for a reason. Whether it was done on their part or my part, that my time there was up. And so I am very nervous, more so for the unknown. Now, I do have a business. I have a side project. I have other things and other streams of income. I am married as well. My husband works full time. But I personally have always had consistent, stable income. As I mentioned earlier, I've been at that company for 13 years. I have experienced promotions, advancement opportunities, shifts, transfers from one department to another. I started off as an agent, moved up into management, went on to be the person that led the command center in the beginning, and then shifted more into workforce management. So I had a lot of transitions there. And then at one point I did reduce my hours. And I think that kind of shifted me into a direction where I wasn't advancing anymore into like leadership, but more so management of processes. So instead of managing people, it was more managing processes. I say all that to say that always prepare, because companies are going to do what companies do. And I've heard that before, and thank God I have my nest egg. I do like that they did provide a severance. So I did appreciate that. I felt like it could have been better, but it's better something over nothing. So I'm not gonna complain about that. You should always try to save. You should always try to have some other form of income. And I feel like this whole experience kind of emphasized that more for me. Now, as far as next steps, I'm still up in the air. Like, I feel like the first couple of days after the layoff, I allowed things to marinate. Because like I said, I was like, kind of like, I don't know if it was in shock, but just kind of like, wow, you know, like, wow, you don't have to log in, and you know, you don't have to ask for a break. And quick correction, I never had to ask for a break. My job was really flexible. My manager was really flexible. But it's more like, you know, letting people know that you're stepping away from your station, or requesting time off, things like that. You literally, the day is yours, so to speak. So I just kind of let things settle. Coming into this week, I wanted to be more intentional with my days. I did pull out my resume though. Last week I did pull out my resume, and I wanted to kind of just see what it looked like. I mean, 13 years, like the only time I ever had to pull out my resume within that duration of working for that company was only one time for a particular position. And I don't know, like, afterwards, I never had to use my resume. I never referred back to it. I know people do say, you know, every now and then go back, tweak, add little things to that. I think that's great advice. I personally never did it. So I did kind of have to dust it off, revisit it, and look at it to see what it looked like. I did glance at different positions. I think right now I'm not sure if I want to get back into like another quote unquote 9 to 5. I am open to it, so I'm going to keep my eye out. I think I'm not in a rush. So right now, my focus is to dive deeper into my business. I want to be more intentional with reselling. That was the reason why I originally started this channel, because I wanted to like kind of grow that side. I have been praying about it and asking God, like, hey, I need a sense of direction. I do believe, I know some people say, like, you know, when you don't know how to make a move or do certain things, then God was going to shake your world up to kind of force you into that. I don't believe God forced us into anything, but I do feel like certain things happen to kind of wake you up, you know, like to kind of like to give you new set of options. So I don't know what the future holds. I don't really know what the plan is. Actually, no, let's scratch that. I have a plan. I have a plan, and I would like to see if I can fully execute that plan and to really take my business to the next level. I want to see if I can really do this entrepreneurial venture. I want to get back into content creating. Now I can't complain I don't have time. I have nothing but time. Now, one thing I do want to insert in the video that I forgot to add was that the thing that I don't like with companies is that they will ask you when you're ready to resign to give them 2 weeks notice, but they will not do that for you. That they don't offer that courtesy back. So I am even more of a believer that when you decide you want to go, you get up and you go. That's it. Like, I'm not giving you no 2 weeks notice. No, they want their 2 weeks because they want to be able to find a replacement for you, and they want to be able to secure your position when you're no longer there. However, that courtesy isn't offered. And I know that many of you guys may have heard that before, but I'm going to put a stamp on that and say, if you want to be out or when your time is to go, and don't feel bad, because guess what? Like, as I mentioned before, companies are going to do what companies do, and therefore you need to do what you need to do for you.